Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl eToro, aka I See You Glam, and we are back with another video to continue our entrepreneur life series. I have a YouTube schedule that I typically stick to, and I'm pretty strict to my filming schedule these days, but I wanted to make this video because I feel like there are a lot of people who are struggling right now as small businesses or entrepreneurs who are having a hard time finding the balance or finding the strength and the power to continue on, or finding meaning amongst everything that's happening, finding a hard time holding on to their why and understanding where and how and what it is that they're meant to do. So I wanted to make this video to share with you guys a couple ways that I have been dealing with everything as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, and how I've protected my why and protected my how and what, and continued on with what I'm doing. So if you have a business, don't have a business, are planning on opening a business, had major plans, or even if they're not business related, but if you had major plans and the state of the world kind of shook that up, I think this video might be for you. So if you're interested, keep watching. But before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you leave a thumbs up, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And without further ado, tell your mother, your father, your baby sister, tell your cousins, tell everybody to pull up because we finna get it cracking. All right, let's roll. Especially moved to make this video because times are really crazy, and if you have been following me on YouTube, you know that at the top of this year, at the top of 2020, I made a video declaring and manifesting what 2020 was going to have in store for us. And it kind of just seems like 2020 had a mind of its own and went on a path that we had no plans for. But I wanted this video to serve as a reminder to you guys that 2020 is far from over. And although the world is shaking us up, let's just take this as the universe trying to keep us on our toes. I think it's super important right now to remain strong in your why and your how, and really owning that and using that to motivate you. If you follow me on my Instagram, you know that I posted a post, I think it was last week, about things that I've learned along my journey that I feel like are really important and really might help someone else. And one of those things was making you part of your why. I talk to a lot of people who start businesses and have businesses, and I always ask them, like, what made you start? Like, how did you get into it? Like, what brought you here? And 9 times out of 10, when people respond to me, I hear the best responses. Like, people are motivated, they're passionate, people want to help people want to develop things that haven't been developed, and I love it, and it's powerful and strong. But I think a lot of times we forget that part of our why should always be us. And if you're anything like me, you hold yourself at such a high regard, at such a high level, that if you make yourself part of your why, you have no option but to keep pushing and keep moving and keep going, because a lot of times you won't find motivation in anything else but yourself. And I always tell people that one thing I take so much pride in is being so self-motivated. You know, there are a lot of things that motivate me. There are a lot of reasons why I started I See You Glam. There are a lot of reasons why I want to be successful. There are a lot of reasons why I want to be at the top. But one of my major reasons is me. You know, I hold myself in that regard, and I don't think that God would ever lay a plan on my life that he didn't think I was capable of pulling through on. So I always keep myself at the center of my why, and I think that's how every day through this pandemic I've been able to go to sleep and wake up and be like, all right, so let's pull it together, let's keep going, let's keep moving. Because let's not forget, like, I See You Glam is my love, my passion, my heart, but I work a 9 to 5. I'm still working, and I'm not fully working from home. I do go on site to work. So I find it so important that I hold myself so true to my why, and I make sure that I'm going up and I'm getting it and I'm grinding and I'm moving and I'm doing what I have to do every single day, because I don't want to let myself down. Like, I don't want to let you guys down, and I don't want to let God down, and I don't want to be anything less than I feel like God has laid out for me, but I don't want to let myself down, because I think more than anything else that would break my own heart. Find a way to make you part of your why, and if that seems too abstract, find a way to not let yourself down. Because at the end of the day, your business is your business, but your business is you. You are a physical representation of your brand, whether you are the face of your brand or not. I am the face of my brand, so you see it more evident that I am the physical representation of I See You Glam. But even if I wasn't the face of my brand, I am ICU Glam at the heart and at its core and at its visions and at its manifestations and at its production and at its follow through and at its everything. It's me. So I always have to hold myself accountable and responsible for pulling and pushing myself through. So find that way to be self-motivated. Let me refer to my notes because I actually did take notes for this video. I usually just go off the top, and I love my best videos, I just go off the top, but I wanted to write things down because there are important things that I really want to make sure I get through to you guys. Another thing that I had mentioned in that post that I posted on my Instagram was figuring out the type of person or the type of I don't even know what the word is. Figure out what your personal style is. And this is so key. Figure out how it is that you like to produce, or how it is that you like to manifest or create or develop. What is your style? You know, I've come across a lot of people on my journey, and some people really are the type of people that just wake up, think of something, and boom, that's it, they're on the ground running. Some people need to think about it, forget about it, think about it, forget about it, think about it, forget about it, and have it knocked on their head in order for them to move and push on it. For me personally, I've come to find that I am a very visual person. I'm a visualizer. I produce things best when I can see them. So when I have an idea, or I have a vision, or I have a thought, or something is laid clearly into my head, I write it down. It's the first thing that I do, and I know you guys probably hear this all the time, and it may not have clicked with you because it may not be your personal style, but try it. I really recommend trying it. Write down every single thing that comes to your head. Maybe if you're a business owner that has hair products, write down every single idea related to that comes to your head. Whether or not it makes sense to you at that point, write everything down. If you have a style similar to mine, which is very visual, writing it down for me is my first step of actuation. So once I write things down, and I'm a very old school kind of person in the sense that I like to write things down pen and paper. So when I write things down, and I keep tons of books, once it's in my book, it's got to happen. And even if it doesn't come to full fruition, I've got to act on it. So I've got to know that I wrote this down, and I had this plan, and I had this idea, and I not only wrote it down, but went back to it, thought about it, developed it, and either A, it worked, or B, it didn't. And that's totally okay. But I think the first step is figuring out your personal style. A lot of my cosmetics, before I even create the product, I've already developed, designed, written out this full description, how I want it to be used, how I want it to be made, what the packaging is going to look like. I've developed it, printed it, put it down somewhere, so that every day I go in and I open up my manifestation journal, I open up my books of record, I open up my diaries, I open up everything, and I'm forced to look at it, and I'm like, damn, toe, we said we was gonna do this, so we gonna do this. And it really helps me work. It really helps me move and push things, because when I write everything down, it's like the first step of my physical manifestation. Is the first step of my actuation. So take that time to figure out your style. You may not figure out totally completely in a day, it may not happen overnight, but if you actually actively work on it, I guarantee you, knowing your style and knowing how your mind likes to work and being aware of how you create and develop best is so key to your process. So take that time, especially now. Take that time and develop yourself and get to know who and how you are. Next up, I feel like you guys hear this and we hear this all the time, but the number of people that actually do this, you'd be surprised how few people actually take the time to sit and plan and think about this. Write out your short-term and long-term goals. What are your visions for yourself, for your business, for your brand? When I say short-term, it can be as short as next week. By 1 week's time, I want ICU Glam to be here doing this, opening this, looking at this, researching this. Like, what are your short-term plans? Whether it's a week, whether it's 6 months, whether it's 5 months, a day, a year. What are your short-term plans and what are your long-term plans? And if you have done that step, if you've taken it that far already, go back and redo them. Go back and redo them, because if you haven't redone your short-term, at least your short-term plans, since this whole pandemic has started, you're already behind, because the ways of the world have changed. And it's just the truth of the matter. It's just the facts. Like, the ways of the world have changed. And if you are not accommodating to that, if you are not aware of that, if you are not pushing forward with that in mind, you're already behind. So redo your short-term goals. I redid my short-term goals. Was it like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago? I sat down and said, you know what, so we said in 6 months we want it to be here and we can still push to be there. It just might not happen in 6 months, but let's reconfigure and let's go back to the drawing board and see where we need to be. And I actually have rewritten my 6-month goals, and I'm not going to share them with you guys because they're like kind of personal to me. But this book I keep, I don't know if I ever showed you guys this in the video, but this is my 2020 manifestation book and manifestation journal. So I write things like my goals, my plans, my intentions, both personally and business wise, in this book. And every morning I wake up, the first thing I do is I pray, I devote, and I open up this book. And whether I'm adding to it that day or not, I'm rereading and going back and looking at the things I promised myself. So it's so important that you plan and you write down where you want to be, but also be very aware and very up to date with the times. And that leads on to my next point. Make sure you are up and researching and reading and just keeping yourself in the field. I think for a lot of people who've had to shut down their businesses or stop production or things like that in this time of uncertainty, I think it's really helpful and beneficial to just, even if you're not physically working, to keep your mind stimulated, right? Keep reading, keep writing, keep researching, keep yourself in the know. You know, you don't want to completely fall back and pull away for this month, 2 months, 3 months, and then you have no clue what's changed. You have no clue what people are looking for. You have no clue where to be or where to start, because this whole time you was just like, I can't do this. And it's totally okay right now to find yourself in a down spot and take that time and take that break and just chill and be very aware and present of how you feel. But you got to be able to pull yourself back up out. And that's why I always say, find a way to be self-motivated, or find a way to make you a part of your why. Because if you hold yourself to a certain level and you have that respect, you're going to pull yourself out. You're going to be like, listen, I may not be able to lay down all these physical bricks, but my mind mentally is going to keep moving. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep reading and writing and doing what I got to do. So that way, when I come out of this thing, I'm going to come out stronger. I'm going to come out bolder. I'm going to come harder than ever. Okay. Another thing I wanted to touch on is stay relevant. When I say stay relevant, I mean promote yourself, promote your business every single day. Okay? I remember there was a time when I don't even know if what the words, I think I was embarrassed, and for only God knows why I could have been embarrassed for being popping and starting my lifelong dream. Like, there was a time when I didn't really like to or want to promote myself on like my personal page and even my business page, because I felt like I was doing too much, or I felt like I was being obnoxious, or I felt like people would just be like, girl, give it a rest. But let me tell you something, promote yourself, promote your brand every single day, whether it is a post on your Instagram, on your Pinterest, on your Facebook, on all 3 platforms. Post something every day. Let people know that, hi, yes, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Yes, there's a state of emergency outside, but in here, we're still conducting business. It may not be business as usual, but we are here still conducting business. Whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, whether it is spiritually, we are still conducting business. So stay relevant and stay present. I make it my duty every day to be active on my story, posting I See Glam Cosmetics, showing you guys where to shop, showing you what to shop, showing you how people have shopped. I have been so on top of my own self to create new content for my page, and posting things that you guys can interact with and would love to see, and really just creating this strong visual brand. I'll be very honest with you guys and just very frank. One habit I have been practicing since the pandemic is setting, actually I won't even say since the beginning of the pandemic, I'll say for the past month. I read it somewhere and I was like, you know what, I can pick this habit up and let me see how hard it's gonna stick. I said, I'm going to set a daily goal for myself and I See You Glam. Every single day, every single morning, I will start my day by reading that goal and saying to myself, what am I going to do today to meet that goal? But the point is, you set a goal, you make a goal, and you look at it and you say, I'm going to work towards this goal. I'm going to do everything else on my to-do list, but this goal is going to be in the back of my head every single day, and I'm going to work to achieve it and to crush that goal. And once I crush it, lit, we moving on to the next day. And if you don't crush that goal, you go back and say, dang, I didn't meet that goal today. What did I do that I could do differently tomorrow? You repeat the goal tomorrow, and you repeat it, you repeat it, you repeat it until you crush it. So the goal I have set for myself for the past month, and I kid you not, is to have 1 sale a day. 1 sale a day. Whether it's a 1 item sale, a 4 item sale, 2 item sale, I want to have 1 sale a day. How am I going to actively put that pressure on myself to make sure I secure these sales, right? I've only been in business for what? February, March, April. Let's start by saying, how are we going to secure 1 sale a day? What do I need to post more? Do I need to be more active? How am I going to reach my audience? How am I going to reach my target audience? How am I going to secure those sales? Guys, I kid you not, since I became more active and more actionable, since I became more active and started taking more, like, what is that word called, like specific actions to making sales, I have not missed my goal 1 day in the past 30 days. And I'm not saying that to brag or be like, yeah, I'm so popping, because boy, there's a lot of levels and a lot of lessons I have not reached. But I say this to remind you guys that when you are active and specific about things that you want, your chances of achieving them are already 100% greater. Like 100% greater. And that's not to say that before I made these actionable goals, these daily goals, that I wasn't working towards it, but I wasn't thinking about it like every single day, like, oh, I want to make a sale. Like, yeah, of course, I'm in business, I want to sell things, but I wasn't specific. I wasn't like, this post right here, the verbiage and the language and this and my approach is going to entice, is going to draw in my customers to purchase. And I have not missed my mark in the past 30 days, and I thank God for the blessing. And I've kept that as my goal, and I said I'm gonna keep this specific goal for 30 days to see, no, I said for 60 days to see where it takes me. And I was gonna give it another month of saying every day I want to make 1 more sale, but because in June I will be launching all new products, I want to push myself a little bit harder. I said this next month I'm pushing myself a little bit harder. I'm putting out more content on YouTube. I'm putting out my new products by top of June, middle of June. I'm gonna have 12 new products on ICU Glam Cosmetics for you guys to shop. I don't know, I don't know yet what my next 30-day goal, daily goal is gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna change day to day. I don't know if it's gonna stay the same, but it's gonna be there. So I just, you know, I just wanted to come on and remind you guys that although the world is trying to pull us back and pull us out of where it is that we want to be, and we know our businesses and our lives should be, like, don't let it totally take you out the game. Like, have your days, have your moments, pull yourself out, be specific, be actionable. Just remember your why. Like, you know, I think that's what pulls me out every single day, is my why. You know, I've always wanted ICU Glam to be a brand in a safe space for all women, for all women. I want women to feel their most beautiful, most zen, most chic, most sweet selves when they come and step into this total glam zone. I want the experience to be glam from top to bottom, and I want to show people that through not only my products but through myself. You know, I always say this, I am the best physical representation of my brand, because I live, eat, breathe, and sleep it every single day. And if I could give people that experience and that feeling that I give myself every day, it's a blessing and a joy, not from me but from God. And that's where we at. So stick in it, stick with it, stick through it. Times is crazy right now, and we really don't know what tomorrow has. And like I keep saying, like was told to me that I'm holding on to, is like, we really are just waiting on God right now, and he's gonna pull us through. But you got to be ready, you got to be on your feet, you got to be on your toes. You don't want to be caught off guard. You don't want anything to catch you off guard. Stay 10 toes down, stick with it. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I hope this was helpful for somebody. If I can help somebody, remember that 2020 is not over. Let this be a reminder. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.